on to win. Look at that record, 12-3, 23-10. Guys, the Vikings were really, really winning early because of all these turnovers for the Packers, but they couldn't get it in the end zone. Why don't we hear from the losing side of this one? Very disappointing night in the Dome. Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer after the Monday night loss.
Our defense played at a very high level tonight. Certainly they played well enough for us to win the football game. But we just weren't able to put it all together. So disappointing loss at home. And so we've got to regroup and now get ready to finish the regular season strong at home next week against the Bears.
I'm not going to get into this Kirk Cousins on Monday night thing and all this stuff. Offensively, we didn't play as well as we can play. I'll say that, okay? And defensively, we could have played the run better. So there's a lot of things that we need to clean up.
Taking a look at the playoff picture, the Vikings are still in it. Of course, the Packers clinched the NFC North. They currently sit in the 2 seed. Three-way tie there with the Niners and Saints. Packers win Week 17. They lock up a first-round bye. What do you make of those Vikings and their playoff situation?
So now they're the 6 seed. That means they're going to probably have to play the 3 seed, which could either be the Saints or it could be the Seahawks. Like, it could be a bunch of different teams.
They're still in it, though. Kirk Cousins, I don't know if it matters at this point. He's 0-9 on Monday Night Football in his career. Big games, he seems to be allergic to them. And I know it's a low-hanging fruit to just blame Kirk Cousins, Schrager, but there were times in multiple opportunities to seize control of this game, and he didn't do it.
They were up at halftime. They were up 10-9. They were up early in this game. I can't blame Cousins for this one for the simple fact that that defensive line absolutely owned the Vikings' offensive line. And that's been the story for the last 2 years. This offensive line cannot protect when it matters most. I'm just disappointed in that Vikings effort altogether. Everything on the line. You've got all the stories about Kirk Cousins and not being able to win on Monday night, and so many different people trying to stand up for him and saying, you know what, Cousins is actually having a better season than Rodgers. And then you go Monday night at home with that crowd, and you lay the worst egg of the season. I have no confidence going into January this team can go on the road and beat the Saints or the Seahawks. Get out of here. That was an awful loss last night. Couldn't stop anything from that Packers defensive line. Cousins was bad, but everybody was bad. A complete no-show from the Vikings offense, and that will not win playoff games.
I think collectively we all have looked at Kirk Cousins and at one point said, he has to win this big game. Is he going to shine in the moments that matter the most? This wasn't Kirk Cousins falling apart. Like you said, in those highlights we just showed, it was a drop ball, pressure in his face, and then a couple of bad routes. There was a play yesterday, I'm sitting there watching, it's second and manageable. He drops back, and Reef, his left tackle, gets destroyed. And now it's 3rd and 19, and they are closer to their end zone than anything else. And I'm thinking to myself, how is he supposed to have a good game if, one, they can't protect him, and if it's only Stephon Diggs trying to get open? As much as I love Adam Thielen, he just didn't seem right. I mean, there was a couple plays where the DB was standing on top of him because he didn't have the burst and the speed to get past him and run routes like we're used to. So he's out there basically just eating up space. For me, as much as I would love to blame one individual, this isn't that. Adam Thielen being banged up and Dalvin Cook being out, it hurts. It's like Seattle losing Carson and Penny. Like, what are they going to do? Who are they going to call? Who's going to step up? Boone did okay, but he's not Dalvin Cook. Just seeing Dalvin on the sideline,
he didn't do much.
I'm just like, oh, man, I wish he was playing. Because when he's on the field, he's not just a guy that can help this offense. He's one of the best running backs in football.
Bah humbug. This sucks. If you're a Kirk Cousins enthusiast, this is like the 8-year-old getting clothes for Christmas. This is a terrible, terrible disappointment. The story of this game was the Packers were terrible earlier. Rodgers interception, fumble here, and the Vikings did nothing with it. Like, they should have been way ahead of this game, and they couldn't. Kirk did not play well. Everyone who's the Kirk Cousins champion will point out stats this, and they always say, at home, can't beat him, undefeated at home. They just got thumped at home. I absolutely thumped. And Monday Night Football, Thursday night, Sunday night, whatever. This was a terrible, terrible buzzkill for the Kirk Cousins reckoning storyline, which I champion. And you and I have talked about before, there's a lot of fake news in that record.
Yeah.
Nothing fake last night. That was a massive buzzkill around Christmas time that you really can't find. Do you remember the movie Gremlins?
Yeah.
Wonderful movie, Mogwais, Gizmo. It's a great kids movie, okay? A lot of fun. Kirk Cousins.
How's it end?
In the middle of the movie, inexplicably, Phoebe Cates decides to tell a story about her dad decided to go down the chimney to play Santa Claus, and he broke his neck and died, and that's how she found out the truth about Santa Claus. And you're like, I thought this was a kid's movie. What in the hell?
Yeah.
That's what happened last night. I feel like the Vikings and the Kirk Cousins are a great story, heartwarming, and Kirk Cousins is dead in the chimney. I'm like, cover my eyes.
So
That's a terrible Christmas
so
story.
are you out? I'm glad that you're saying he had a bad game.
Terrible.
Because a good player, a great player,
I love him, but
a tremendous player will win the game. He was held to under 50% of completions. He had under 100 passing yards going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Didn't capitalize on any of those mistakes. Where do you stand with this Viking squad going forward?
That was everything. You know, I thought last night, truly, I thought that we're going to decide who's going to be in the North. Who could knock off the Saints?
Yeah.
Who could knock off the Niners? It ain't the Vikings. I mean, I kind of joked about this. You know how we've gotten on the Texans for, if you're going to show up in costume to the stadium, you better have a great game. They wear all those costumes.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen wears the light-up Christmas sweater and then
Ugly sweater.
0 catches,
Funny.
complaining about pass interference. He didn't show up. Like, he should take some just like Cousins should.
What if the Packers defense is really just that good?
They're really good.
Even so, you can't be
They're
considered
nasty.
legitimate
They
if
are.
you're at home in Week 16 with the division on the line and you lay.
Okay, but with that said,
stop.
they're in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and in that first half, made that offense for the Packers.
Oh, yeah, defense is good.
Extremely average.
Defense is good.
They're all over the place because the defense hasn't been good. The numbers over the season are not great, but they showed up. At this point, if we don't know what the team is, I got no.
For sleeping, we got you yourself a little throwback gift. It's vintage. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting Seattle found help in the backfield. They signed Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. 1-year contract. This move comes as the result of Seattle, of course, losing their running back Chris Carson to a fractured hip, CJ Prosise to a broken arm, Rashad Penny. Before that, they found some help in the backfield. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Absolutely. And to you, Carrie.
Thanks.
To you.
This is our show. We're here live. We have a lot of guests here on this holiday. We're joined by Swagger Claus, of course.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Merry Christmas.
You know we're in our 4th season when Nate wears that and we don't even blink. Right?
Yeah, it's actually
I was in the makeup show this morning and I was like, should I wear something festive? I know Nate's probably going to wear the red Swagger
Got the
Claus
red and green.
outfit.
We're good.
There we go. Peter Schrager. We've got Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's right. A little LL Bean, maybe, perhaps. It all works for me.
Our show is presented by Intuit QuickBooks. Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching us this morning. We've got so much to get to, especially highlights from the NFC North.
In the North, they will host a playoff game, and maybe better. They still got that #1 seed in their eyes. But after the game, our guy, Tom Pelissero, caught up with Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith after a big-time defensive showing in the NFC North, and things got a little emotional.
Oh, man, it's crazy to know, like, how we started off and how we done came to this second-to-last game and took the division.
We fought through a lot of adversity. We fought through a lot of adversity, man. We stuck with our guns, man. We kept fighting. We knew that if we kept fighting, man, good things would happen for us, man. We had to play good defense, help our offense out, man. They got back on track, and they sealed the deal for us.
Feeling a lot here, Zadarius. Why does this mean so much to you?
Give me a second. Because we was in the locker room. Let me take it. I got it. We was in the locker room, and I told them, boy, man, the only thing I want for Christmas is a hat and a T-shirt, man. And we pulled it off, man. So we're going to go celebrate this win, and we're going to get ready for next week for Detroit.
2 more T-shirts and 2 more hats they can get to maybe finish that wish list. And this, Nate, is why we love football.
Love that passion.
Packers clinched the NFC North. They're currently the 2 seed. They're in a 3-way tie atop the NFC with the Niners and the Saints. So if the Packers win in Week 17, they lock up the first-round bye. They can get the #1 overall seed with the win. And if the Niners lose to the Seahawks, who just added Marshawn Lynch. That's where we sit here, Christmas Eve morning. Most impressive part of the Packers win. 3 rather uncharacteristic turnovers to start things off.
And that's it. It was the first half mistakes for me. You know, you look at the Packers and you expect them to take care of the ball in the situation they were in. I mean, just think about it. They were on the road in a game that mattered, had so much to do with the playoff implications. They have the 2 first-half fumbles. Aaron Rodgers uncharacteristically throws an interception. You're thinking to yourself, oh, it's a wrap from here. It's going down.
Ugly,
and
man.
not to mention, they were held to 2 field goals in that first half. So you're thinking to yourself, they can't get it together. They're making mistakes. I haven't seen this many mistakes on the road since I was 16 taking my driver's test.
There we go. Running stop signs, Nate.
Here's
Slow
the
roll.
Exactly. Just like me, though, they collected themselves. They got control of the situation. And now they're in the driver's seat, man.
We all have a great affinity for Nate's driving tests.
When I think of Nate in his car when he was 16, I think of him in the backseat.
I love Nate with the pizza as well.
Oh, the pizza! Peter, it went right over my head. You're right.
There it goes. There it goes. But you're right. They came together. They get